Hey there, Sneakas. So it's been a real day today. Uh, one of those days that has ups and downs and ups, and all sorts of things that days actually have. Imagine that. Nothing new, nothing out of the ordinary from what isn't experienced by somebody on the planet. Today I just had a whole bunch of experiences happen. But what is interesting is, I start my day with a prayer, and the prayer goes like this. God, please show me the truth today in every situation I encounter, whether it be out here or whether it be up here. Please show me the truth. And then give me the courage and the strength to always turn towards that truth you show me. Okay? And then, God, please give me moment to moment consciousness throughout this day. A real time sense of awareness, right? That I can be, reside, live right here, right now, where everything's actually happening, right? Keep me here. And while I'm here, I might have the opportunity to see myself, that crazy thing that thinks about stuff. There's reality, and then there's my thoughts about reality. So where I can see myself being myself. So if I'm in cooperation, oh look, I'm in cooperation. If I'm in conflict, oh look, I'm in conflict with the world around me. So I call that the prayer of awakening. And I call it the prayer of awakening because it's asking God, the divine, the universe, whatever you want to call it. It's asking for two things. It's asking to see, to be able to observe truth, whether it be this way or here, just the truth, right? Not the story about so the truth is everything as it is, right? The fabrication would be my ideas about that. So it's the story that's born. So there's the truth and the story that gets born out of that, which usually has me at the center of it, right? So that is the untruth, right? Anything that has to be believed isn't necessarily the truth. Because reality, right? Things as they are, reality as reality is, does not need to be believed. Why? Because it's reality, right? The moment I actually have a belief about something, a belief I have to leave here and go into my magical, mythical world of what's not happening, over here into my post historic documentation about what happened one time. And if I bring that back into this moment and try to clarify or name or judge or quantify or I don't like, that that idea that idea comes from my history, right? That's not reality. That's my thoughts about reality. So anytime I have a belief, I'm actually not in reality. I've gone somewhere, fetched something out of who knows where, and brought it back here and tried to apply it here. So to be in truth, I have to be able to see how things are without my interpretation. Okay. So that's where the second part of the prayer comes in real handy. God, please give me moment to moment consciousness, a real time sense of awareness. I read this book one time called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And the amazing thing about that book is it really, just the course of reading that book arrived me at the now. I was in this sense of now for 12 days or something after reading that book. It was amazing. It just like I had arrived in the present and was residing in the present for an extended period of time. It was beautiful. Some people call that a little peek behind the veil, a little spiritual experience, a little, little tastes of enlightenment. How do you know it's a taste? Because it goes away. That's how you know it's a taste, because it's not sustaining. Is sustaining possible? Yes, it is. It is. But it's through the course of having these experiences at first that we begin to realize that, you know what, there's a lot more going on here than what I think. Right? When you really arrive in the now, when you really arrive right here and are experiencing life from right here, there is no over there. So over there, I like I say, I call that the magical, mythical world of what's not happening. Because this is what's happening. If I have to go there, it's usually because of fear, resentment, guilt, shame, and remorse. Anything that's got a story, right? Any kind of story that has a self at the middle of it. Selfish, self-seeking, self-centered, self. Everything in reference to. In reference to who? Me, because I'm at the center of me, right? Or am I? Or is reality just reality and I'm an observer of? And then I suddenly make everything about me. I sort of geolocate myself at the center of it. And have this false sense of belief that it's all actually going around me. This point of view. But in reality, it's not true. Reality is just reality. I am witnessing reality from this point of view. That's all. Just a point of view. That's it. Just a simple, everyday, ordinary point of view. Now, when I believe my point of view, when what I see from my point of view has an actual story attached to it, and I believe it, well, then we're heading for some discomfort. We're heading for some unhappiness. The Buddha calls it suffering. Right? The cause of suffering is the unwillingness to allow everything and everyone to be as they actually are. If I can't accept everything and everyone exactly as it is, guess what? I am in conflict. Reality is reality, no matter what it looks like. That's reality. If I am in conflict or in opposition, okay, something inside me is saying no. Opposition just simply means that I'm in some way, shape, or form opposed to things as they are, right? Or I can be in a state of yes, or acceptance, right? I don't have to like everything, right? So my job isn't to like everything, but I do have to be aware that things just are as they are. Oh, totally unexpected. Okay, and then I do the next indicated right action, intuitively guided, right? But if I'm in a state of no, opposing, I don't have a lot of options at that point. I really have just the option of no. Or my responses all are going to come from the selfish, self-seeking, self-centered, because I'm in a state of no, it's all about what I think. Or I can just go into, oh, okay. Because that's not in relationship to me. That's just, that's just observing what's happening. Wow, look at that. Interesting. That's, reality doesn't need me to define it. Doesn't need me to judge it. Doesn't need me to name it. My happiest times in life is just when I observe. Now, let's get back to that believing the story part. So, as many of you might have known from my Facebook day to day, ups and downs, lost my wallet, canceled my credit card, didn't transfer any money through that card to my account, my bank account. With your Uber, your PayPal, any place you have money that you want to move it to your bank so you can actually withdraw it, needs to be done before you cancel that card. Because after you cancel that card, it's going to be another 4 days or something until you get a card. So any of that money you got somewhere, it's just where it is. So, I had a few moments of like, but that's all that they are. That's the amazing part about this whole thing, about this awakening. You know, you will you will always have thoughts. You will always have. It's like a thought comes up, presents itself, but then it has nothing to. It has nothing to grab onto. So what does it do? It just falls over. So the thought presents itself. You notice it. You see it. You know, oh, but there's no truth to it. And what I say by no truth to it is what I mean is there's a wonderful woman. Her name's Byron Katie, and she has a book called The Work. And so part of the work is trying to see how many of your thoughts are actually true. Turns out not many. It's true the rent is due on the 31st. It's true that, you know, if you go over 80 miles an hour on the freeway, they're probably going to pull you over. But are they talking about me? I'm so much better than him. Why are they doing this? All those kind of thoughts, all those thoughts about how things could or should, you know, possibly be, if only. That's another good one. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, if only. Anytime I have those kind of thoughts going on, I realize that I'm actually thinking from here. I'm not being an intuitively guided person at that point. I'm thinking from my mind. Is it okay to think from my mind? Absolutely. The trick is not to believe those thoughts. Because it's in those believings of that thought that we talked about before. That's when I become uncomfortable. That's when I become in opposition, because I'm like, but it's just a thought. Reality is this. Then there's this thinker up here that's just coming up with this crazy stuff, presenting itself. And if I believe it, then we go marching on this little thought train. And, you know, it's like a thought can then have another thought. And then if I go to talk to you and I tell you, oh my God, you know what happened to me? And I'm trying to tell you and get you riled up, because if you believe it, then it must be true. What I'm thinking, am I crazy, has got to be true. So that's one of the things that we do with people is we try to sort of get people to co-sign our shit. One friend of mine always says, you know, and I never answer, because that's just somebody wanting you to co-sign their thoughts, and I don't do that. I really don't. It's not my thing. You know, if you believe it, great. Believe it. But don't look for me to mirror back something to you as truth when I don't even believe my own thoughts. You got to be kidding me. If you think I'm going to believe some bullshit you're thinking when I don't even believe my own thoughts, that's silly. So really, it's the believing of thoughts. It's the believing of the narrative. So all of us have a narrative. All of us have a story. All of us have but the difference is, at some point in this process of awakening, we begin to stop believing it. We begin to see things are not true. Back to Byron Katie. So a thought comes. They shouldn't have done that. So the work says, the first question is that true? She shouldn't have done that. Is that true? Well, I mean, yeah, she shouldn't. Okay. Is it verifiably true? So then I have to go through the exercise like, okay, is it No. I mean, if it verifiably means is it absolutely true? You know, not just true from this, how I think, but I have to leave what I think and go into the realm of reality, right? As things are. So she did what she did. She shouldn't have done that, this thing thinks. Is it true? Well, it is to this thing. Is it true in the realm of reality? Oh, that's our test. Okay. So in the realm of reality, it happened. She did that. That's the truth. That's what she did. So is it true? Not really. But the rest of her work is, third question is, when you believe that thought, right? When you believe that she shouldn't have that, how does it make you feel? What insight, what's your internal landscape look like? what kind of additional thoughts happen? How do you act in this world? Do you try to get other people to agree with you? Do you look outside to get some sort of validation? So that part is just to notice, just to see, just to observe what happens when you believe the thought. And then the fourth question she asks is, who would you be if you didn't believe that thought? Right? So that thought, how it makes me feel when I believe it. Now then the question of like, who would I be? Who would I be? Or what would I be if I did not actually believe it? If I could see it, recognize it as untrue, and go, oh, and just relax over it, right? Instead of having this sense of no. Anytime you get this no, it's always like there's a contraction. There's a something kind of clamps down. There's a tightening. There's no tightening in yes. Yes is just yes is a releasing, it's a relaxation. Yes, okay, right? The whole idea of surrender is just yes, okay. It's just a simple yes. And how's no? No is the opposite of yes. No is the tightening. It's the contraction. It's the seizing up. It's the pulling out of the finger. So, it was a day. Lots of things happened. And what I got to see, what I got to know, because in my morning prayer, God, please show me the truth. And then give me the courage to always turn towards that truth. Because just because I see it doesn't mean I want to do it. Then moment of consciousness, be here, where I might have the ability to see myself, observe, like I'm like third party, like watching. Oh, look at me doing that. Oh, look at me doing that. Just kind of see myself rather than, because if I'm angry and I'm in anger, if I'm stuck in the anger, I am the anger itself. I just get lost. Everything's gone and I'm just anger. Just can't be anything else but this anger. But if I think I can see myself being myself, then I'm like, oh, look, I'm really freaking angry. There's all sorts of like wanting to come out, but I can actually kind of laugh at it. I can just kind of okay. Or if it's not anger, it's it could be fear. I mean, that losing your wallet, right? When you're in my financial situation, well, it's actually not so bad when your mind is at the end of it. But the idea that you'll have to replace all that stuff, you'll have to go through the effort. Oh God, the effort of having to do that, right? So there's fear involved with that, right? So when the Buddha talks about suffering, right, the unwillingness to allow everything to be as it is, sometimes is in reference to her doing the thing that she did. Sometimes it's into me losing something that's of value to me, and the fear of what's going to happen. And the truth is, you don't know. If you get stuck in fear, your mind makes up a story. And then it thinks about all these other little stories, and it's just like it just gets going, it gets moving. Right? But if you don't believe that original thought, it comes up and then just falls over. So your internal landscape, when you wake up, just becomes this really sort of I don't want to say empty, but kind of. It's very roomy. It's very spacious. How about that? It's just a very spacious place to be. So before it was so cluttered with this and that, and I think this, and you shouldn't, and fuck you, and act. It's just all this crazy, right? But upon awakening, all that stuff falls out, and then you're just left with a sense of spaciousness. So crazy thoughts still come up in spaciousness, right? But you can identify them as because when crazy comes up, you're like, holy shit, where the hell did that come from? It's been a long time since I've had crazy. And you gotta identify it as, wow, And so the truth, the trick is being able to identify when you're having those thoughts when they come up, and that's when the prayer comes in, right? The truth is, oh look, there's me having a thought. Oh look, there's me wanting to believe that thought. Oh look, there's me believing that thought. Or, oh look, that's not true, and it just falls over, right? So Byron Katie's The Work. It's a very powerful program to just keep yourself in that state of observation, of inquiry, so spiritual self-inquiry. Is it true? Is it true? Is it true? Most things aren't true. So it was a day, and it was just like anybody else's day, though. You know what I mean? It was a day where things happened that haven't happened to me in a while. But why not me today? Today was my day. Today was my day. As some of you know, I'm writing a book. Actually, I'm writing 2 books at the moment. The first one's called "There Are No Accidents, There Are No Mistakes, There Are Only Blessings." Right? Because in my understanding, in my humble opinion, in the universe as it unfolds makes no mistakes. There's no mistakes in the universe. The universe is the way the universe is. A mistake is when I attach a story, when I have a narrative that says that shouldn't have been like that. But in reality, if I suddenly disappeared, that narrative would disappear too. And then what's left? The truth of what happened without me. So, there is only the truth. There is only reality as reality is. Right? So, no accidents, no mistakes. No accidents. No mistakes means that there's really nothing I can do either that is wrong. I mean, if I actually do it, it becomes part of universal reality, God's will, and if I think about it, then it's just a thought. But if that thought turns into a reality, then that reality is part of the entire reality. And as we just said, anything that's part of the entire reality is part of reality itself, right? Whether or not I did it. But if I did it, it can cause other things to, the cause and effect. So, and like I said, the universe isn't making mistakes. Sorry. There are no accidents. So whether it happened or whether I did it, no accidents, no mistakes. It's either it happened or I'm doing. That's the 2 sides of that coin. So, and then the last phrase in that is, there are only blessings. And what that means is that, when I was seriously stuck in my head, when I was in a really sleepy state, I thought the world was happening to me. Whenever I could say, they shouldn't have done that, and believe it, that's sleepwalking. That's because reality is, it happened. Now what? So once I kind of awoke from my little slumber there, I started just seeing everything as it is. And like I say, there's no accidents, there's no mistakes. So that leaves us with just blessings. So if it isn't happening to me, if I'm not a victim, right, then the opposite of happening to me is happening for me. Maybe all these experiences that are happening in my life are happening for my growth, for my spiritual expansion, so that I have the opportunity to be able to experience different lessons to help me let go. Right? When I mean let go, I mean like just everything that happens in your life, at one point or another, you're going to get to where you just go, okay, and you accept it. Most of us stay in a constant state of absolute no way, fuck that, just bullshit. We stay in the state of no until we finally exhaust ourselves. Okay, all right. Or our attention just goes elsewhere. We're like squirrel. We forget about this, right? Either you can come to the natural um, finish of something, or you could just be distracted. Either which way, things come to a conclusion. So if everything is a blessing, and you're able to sort of come to this this sense of peace, sense of acceptance with it, then you're able to just see that, wow, everything that's happening in my life is actually happening for me. Everything that's happening in my life is an opportunity for me to come into this place of like, oh, okay, simplicity. It's just like that. So no accidents, no mistakes, only blessings. Most of you know me that I was not a big God guy. I am now, but not the God of other people's understanding. It's the God of my understanding. It's the God of everythingness. It's just reality as reality is. I was at this woman today. She looked at my note. She says, "Oh, you're a Buddhist?" I said, "No, I just put that on the forum because I lean that direction rather than that direction." As I just wanted to give that as just She's, "Oh, okay, I totally get you. I get you." The Dalai Lama, I heard one time say that my religion is the truth, and I want to say that very much resonates with me. Something about that. Yes, there's a big yes. It's very easy to say yes to that, and I have to say, well, maybe, kind of, okay. I don't. It just says, my religion is the truth. Yes. Why? Because the truth is this. The truth is reality. So my religion is living, existing, and cooperating with reality.